Welcome to the Preparing the Data File lesson on the Montana Early Warning System. This lesson is specifically designed for schools that have the district edition of Infinite Campus, which allows the schools to store all of the required attendance, grades, and behavior data in Infinite Campus. If you are not an Infinite Campus user, there are other lessons on the data file preparation that will suit your needs. In this lesson, we will cover how to prepare the data file that needs to be uploaded into GEMS to use the EWS. If you have any questions or concerns about the Montana Early Warning System, please contact Eric Meredith at 406-444-3642 or email at emeredith@mt.gov. The upload process occurs on the EWS overview page, but only in GEMS Secure. This is the only difference between the secure and public version of GEMS on the EWS overview page. There is a space in the secure version to upload your data file. The data file is an Excel spreadsheet and must be in a specific format. The Early Warning System data file template that is available for download on this page does display the correct format. We will cover more on the format of this file later in the lesson. There are 10 data elements that must go into the data file. 9 of them are variables about each student, and 1 is the identifier so that the EWS knows which student to attach the data to. The identification variable is the state student ID number. The other 9 are attendance, grades, and behavior data that OPI does not collect for each individual in the state. This data is needed to use the EWS. However, it is not a requirement to have data on every variable for every student. The EWS has measures that account for missing data. For example, if a student is new in your school, you may not know the number of Fs the student received during the previous term. The EWS will account for this. However, the more accurate and complete data that can be provided for each student, the better the EWS results will be. Here are some specifics on each data element, including examples of how that data element should look. Most of the data variables are self-explanatory. One key thing to recognize in many of these variables is that it uses a count number of events of some kind in a certain amount of days. Those days are calendar days, not school days. So for example, the number of absences in the past 60 days is not over the past 60 school days, but over the past 60 calendar days, or roughly 2 months. The only exception to this is that days over the summer break are not counted as calendar days. This is done so at the beginning of the school year, the student count will not always be 0, and will actually look at the last 60 calendar days of the previous school year. We should also clarify what credits year and on track are. These two variables are both used in the EWS and are related to each other. The credits per year variable is exactly what it says: the number of high school credits earned towards graduation per year. So, for example, a junior at the beginning of the school year that has earned 12 credits has a credit per year of 6, or 12 divided by 2. This variable is updated at the end of every semester. On track is a variable to determine if a student is on track to graduate based on the number of credits they have earned. This variable is just a yes or no variable. On track does not take into effect what those credits are, just the total credits. So, a student missing an English class could potentially be marked as on track. On track uses the credits per year variable to determine if a student is on track. For example, a school requiring 22 credits to graduate would mean a student needs to average 5 5/10 credits per year or more to attain that. If their credits per year is above 5.5, then they are on track to graduate. It is also very important to understand that there is a difference between a blank space in the data file and a 0. A blank space designates that the specific data variable for that student is unknown. A 0 designates that the count for that data variable is in fact 0. For example, a student with no A grades received in the previous term will have a 0 in the column for previous term A's, and a student where it's not known how many A's the student received in the previous term will have a blank space in that column. This is an important difference in getting the correct EWS results. The good news is, if you are a District Edition user of Infinite Campus, there is an easy way to get the data file needed for the EWS. The Office of Public Instruction, OPI, has worked with Infinite Campus to develop a data extract that will pull the exact data you need for the EWS in the correct format. The extract only works if you are entering the needed data into Infinite Campus, such as grades, attendance, and behavior. In order for the extract to work correctly, in all your settings in Infinite Campus must be set up a certain way, such as telling Infinite Campus exactly which grades are considered an A so that it can count all the previous term A's correctly in the data extract. This is a one-time setup process, and once done will greatly simplify the process of getting the EWS data. If you roll over and use the same settings in the following school years, you will not have to set this up again. The explanation of the settings that need to be adjusted start in the Required Data Setup section. It can be found by clicking the link at the top of the page or scrolling to about halfway point of the document. Feel free to check out the rest of the document as it explains in detail the data that's being extracted from the system. Contact OPI if you would like help getting all the settings right in Infinite Campus. One item of note on the setup needed for this to work correctly. There are several state reporting boxes that will need to be checked in order for the extract to work correctly. Checking these boxes do not mean that data will be reported to the state. It's just a requirement to create the extract file. We will now do a short demonstration of where to find the Montana EWS extract in Infinite Campus and the steps needed to extract the data. First, log into your District Edition of Infinite Campus. Once you're in Infinite Campus system, find the index at the upper left of your screen. If you aren't already, go into the index. Once the index comes up, towards the bottom of the list is MT State Reporting. Click on that. It opens up another list. In this list, at the bottom is Montana EWS. Click on that and the extract options come up in the main screen. There are two options for the format of your data extract, CSV and the HTML. The file you use to upload into the GEMS system will have to be the CSV option. The HTML option is available so you can see the data that is being extracted. The HTML version also has student names where the CSV version does not. This makes it easier for checking the data if you want to make sure the extract is pulling the correct data for your students. So we select CSV here. The current semester is exactly as it says. Select the semester, 1 or 2 that is currently at your school. We will select 1 here for the first semester. The last part is to select a calendar. The button should be on an active year. This data extract only works with current data. You can select one calendar at a time to extract data from. If the students you want to extract data from are in more than one calendar, it's recommended you download each calendar separately and then combine the data onto one file. This allows you to only do one upload of data into GEMS that includes all your students. You're only allowed one upload a day into the GEMS system. If you upload more than one, GEMS just overwrites the data from the first upload. Because of this, all your students' data needs to be in one file. Now we just click on the Generate Extract button. Save the file to your computer somewhere where you can easily find it and make sure you give it a name you recognize. You have now saved the file in the format required for uploading into EWS. Make sure to save this file in a secure location as it does contain student level data. Now open the file and confirm that it includes all the data needed for the EWS. Each row is data for a separate student. The file shown here is fake data. It is only for 10 students. If you are collecting all the required data needed for the EWS in Infinite Campus, there should be data in every column. It is okay to have a few blanks, as some data may not be available for certain students for various reasons. The last thing to confirm is that the sheet name in the Excel file is named EWS and nothing else. GEMS will not accept a file with any other name here. Once you have confirmed all of that, the file is ready to be uploaded into GEMS. That concludes this lesson on preparing your EWS data file when using Infinite Campus District Edition as your student information system. This slide shows the remaining lessons, including the next one in the series, uploading your data file into GEMS.